Hey guys, on the CRF Rider 116 here again. Today I'm going to show you how I polish a frame on my dirt bike, on aluminum-framed dirt bike. Alright, so this is my dirt bike, it's a CRF 450, and I'm going to polish the frame. It's already been polished in the past, but with wear came back. Well, I actually only polished this upper section because I personally find this useless to polish the lower section since your boots rub. And it looks bad since this remains polished and this would remain all like black because of your boots. So that looks best, I find, if you just simply just polish the upper frame. Okay, so I first got into thinking into polishing my frame simply because the first bike that I had, my 2007 CRF 250R dual exhaust, was when I bought it, the guy had stored it outside, which is pretty stupid, but whatever. The guy stored it outside, and basically the frame looked disgusting, and I wanted it to be nice and shiny. So I looked into that, and I found basic ways to get it shiny. It's not hard, really basic materials. So I'm just gonna get off the plastics here, and I'll show you next step. Okay, so here as I'm getting off the plastics, just show you. Oh, and by the way, my kit, it's a pretty old kit, but it comes with a screwdriver for the sockets, which is pretty smart because you don't want to wear out this thing here by always cranking it. So yeah, that's my thing where I manually take it off. Okay, so I took out all the screws. I'm going to take out my shrug now. Yeah, that piece interlocks with this airbox piece right over here. I'm just going to lay that down, and on this particular model, the CRF 450 and possibly the 250, I'm not too sure, there's a rubber tank protector from the frame, which is supported by a tie wrap here. It's black, and I would take it off, but I don't have any spares with me, so I don't think I am going to take it off right now. Another thing I forgot to mention, important thing, anytime you're dismantling a bike, what I learned is that when you have any loose screws from parts that are removed, you want to put them back into their original place so you don't lose them. This is not like, not everyone thinks this, not everyone really wants to do it, but I find it's a good idea. I learned that, and keeps things organized. So when you take the bike apart and you take off your subframe and whatever that, and there's a bunch of these loose screws there where you want to put them back into their original place, their brackets, so you don't lose them. It's my suggestion. Like, I have a friend who he puts all of his nuts and bolts into a little plastic Tupperware, and he just keeps it there on the side. He knows what goes where, but this is a bit better. This is a bit better organization in my opinion, so you should look into that. Alright, and tools to do sandpaper. Let me just get my trusty sandpaper bag. These are sandpaper things to polish. So that's something soft. That's for, I'm about to show you. We have various types of sandpaper. I have from 200 to 2000. I used to have the 4000. I don't know where that went. So yeah, these are like these odds and ends, because the rest just, I don't know, just disappeared. But then we have all these socks, which I'll show you later. That's for polishing. It's good if you have old stretched socks that you're not going to use anymore. Just keep them. Trust me, because you have this. I'm on my third can of this thing, so it's pretty good. It's Mother's Mag and Aluminum Polish. It's for polishing really any aluminum or metal surface which you want to be clean, and even without polishing, it's going to guarantee make it shinier. And it's a cream that you rub on with a soft surface, so with any soft t-shirt or whatever you have, an old t-shirt, I just use that. And I even have this Mother's Powerball, which comes in useful, but I don't have my drill with me. I left it at my grandparents' house, so I have to get that. But just drill that in, or just screw it in, sorry. With your drill, you even have the extender, which I don't really use. But that even helps with the polish, and you can put the polish directly, the polishing cream directly on this, and polishing this really works. But I'm just gonna do it by hand with socks. So I'm gonna show you step 1 of my process of polishing. Okay, I just looked over my tiny collection of sandpaper, and it's pretty embarrassing what a tiny little collection I have. I used to have a ton of more paper. I don't know where it went, but I don't really have any more. So, oh look, here's a bit more. What is this? This is 200. Okay, all right, that's fine to work with. But actually, I have this like half sponge, half sandpaper, and this is 200 as well. So I'm going to start with this. So here we're going to see what I have to work with. Here's my frame, and there's some dirt buildup. I'm not too happy about that because, actually I should be angry at myself because I went riding one day, it was super muddy. The bike was covered in mud, like literally, you know, like everyone's had those riding days where the bike just gets completely filthy and you can't really tell what brand it is because you can't see the color of it at all. And basically, yeah, I let it sit like that for 2 weeks. And some of the mud just built up on the frame, and I'm not too happy about that, but I'm not worried because I can remove it. It's going to take a bit of work. It's not going to come off like first stride, but yeah, that's removable. I even got some on the lower frame right there. It's going to be a pain too. I'm not going to really remove my brake, but whatever. See, even now, looking over the bike, I'm gonna polish the linkage as well. Might as well, they got dirty too, so no one likes a bike looking like shit, so gotta keep it clean. Okay, here I have my 200, it's the rough side, and I'm gonna start with this. I'm gonna work my way up. Basically, this is for like the big imperfection stuff like that. This is pretty rough, it's not smooth. And most of you probably already know that, you work your way up when polishing something. And some other components might not already need something this granular. So for example, here I polished this once before, like last November, like November 2010. It was already a year. It was much shinier, but it already with wear it got a bit dirtier. And then obviously I wouldn't start with my 200 on that. So I'd probably start like what, 1,000, maybe 800. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna start a 1,000 grade on this, but for this right here, and especially this dirt around the corner right here, I'm gonna start with this 200. Okay, so after some dirty hands, this one I got. It's a bit cleaner. Did just a quick job, nothing too great, but you can already see pretty much remove most of the dirt. There's still tiny little imperfections, but whatever. I'm not gonna complain. It's a dirt bike after all. But I cleaned it up. Even did the brake lever over here a little bit. Just shine. I did some 1500 on that. And even the kickstart, I shined that up too. That one I did a bit more shinier. Did it like basically on every angle. And yeah, now I'm gonna show you the fine stuff. So doing it fine. So I'm gonna use pretty much 1,500 and 2,000 for this, for the upper part, and then I'm going to polish it as well as the kickstart. Alright, another quick job on the frame. Didn't do a great job. I got some imperfections in there, but whatever. I wish I had 4,000. Wouldn't go on cleaner, but it's already looking good. Like I'm already satisfied with what I have with right now. Okay, so I just finished. My hands are filthy or whatever, and here are the results. So that looks really good. Here's comparison. This is after the mother's aluminum polish. This stuff is really good. You guys have to get this. It's like 15 bucks or so, and it's much better than I think it's like that other stuff called Blue Magic, whatever. It's more liquid form, and it's garbage. It doesn't even work that well. So I did the kickstart. That's really shiny as well. I'm satisfied with this. And that looks super good. I didn't even expect it to come out that shiny. So look, it's practically a mirror finish. That looks really good. And you guys can do this basically on your 4-stroke aluminum frame. or even your old CR97 and up. It's the only frame twin spar aluminum chassis like this, the Hondas. And I'll just show you the other side. Comparison of pure dirty. Maybe it's darker in this section of the room, I don't know, but maybe you can't see it well, but it's really disgusting and dirty. I got even more dirt buildup over here. It's going to be even more work to take off, so I'm going to have to do that side now to even redo this section of the frame on this side. And yeah, that's about it. So you guys should give that a try. If you don't have any of the aluminum polish or the sandpaper, it's pretty cheap. Sandpaper's cheap from what I know, so what, maybe 30-40 bucks can get you that, and it'll get you a nice, clean, shiny bike. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you guys probably already know this, but your bikes, maintaining your bikes during winter is very important. Like basically everyone does it. I haven't put stabilizer in it yet, but I've been starting it. I have been starting it weekly, which is good. So yeah, I would do riding this winter because I have the track that I ride at about half an hour away has an indoor track as well, which is open during winter. But the only downside is that it's 50 bucks to ride at, which is way overpriced, and it's not even heated. It's extremely cold. And I went last year, December 2010. It was actually with this bike, my first ride on this bike, and it was freaking cold. My hands locked up, and it was not even fun. I did 2 laps, and I had to come in and warm up, and yeah, that wasn't pleasant. So whatever, I don't mind waiting till spring to ride. Probably gonna find myself a sled soon. But anyway, I just showed you guys my way of polishing. You guys probably have your own, so you guys can leave some feedback. And most of all, subscribe to Honda CRF Rider 116.